Hey everybody, I'm Larry Herring and welcome to actingcareerinfo.com podcast. This is our first podcast and we're really excited to get these out to you guys because there's just been so many questions that have been coming in through the blog, particularly on this first topic that we're going to hit right away, and that is avoiding scams and starting out right. The first thing you need to remember with starting out right and avoiding these scams is you cannot be an instant professional anything. You can't be an instant professional athlete, an instant professional chef. You have got to develop talent over time with training and perseverance. You've got to commit to the process. So depending on your experience so far and how much time you've been working on this, your first booking may take anywhere from a year to 5 years, depending on where you're at. Don't let that discourage you. That's part of the process. And shortcutting the process, you need to know this. If you shortcut the process, you're going to open yourself up to ripoffs, and that doesn't move you forward. So we're going to help you avoid those ripoffs. And how do you know what's a ripoff and what's not? The first calling card of these talent ripoffs is they ask for money right out the gate, right up front. So they bring you in and they lure you in with promises of stardom and training and all their access to the industry. And you get in there and at some point they pitch you their package. And these packages can run for anywhere from $500 to $5,000, several $1,000s easily. And that's how you know that they're a ripoff. If they do that, walk away. The other thing is if you found them through some sort of advertisement, radio advertisement, a billboard, or a popular one is the shopping mall tactic. You'll see these people with kiosks and approaching folks in shopping malls. Real talent agents do not do this, so avoid them if you get that kind of approach. The third thing is, and probably the most definitive, is that they're missing from the SAG-AFTRA.org website for professional representatives. So if you go to the SAG-AFTRA.org/professional representatives page, you'll find all kinds of resources to check and see who SAG-AFTRA essentially endorses or is partnered up with. So if they're not there, they're definitely not a legitimate agency, or probably not a legitimate agency. There are the few exceptions, but for the most part, if they're not listed on the SAG-AFTRA website, I would avoid them. So the question is, what's the right path then, Larry? So if I've avoided the scams, now what? How do I actually get into the industry? And I've outlined 7 steps to an acting career on the website, and you can go to this link right here to check all of those out and all my information on the 7 steps. But the first 3 really are the most critical and need to be started at the same time. And those are, you need to get some training, you need to get some experience, and you need to get some headshots. And all those can happen at the same time. And you might ask, well, how do I find out where that is? Where do I go to those to get the right training, the right headshots, and the right experience? That's what all those scams were trying to sell me. How do I find a place that's not going to rip me off? And that is going to be the topic of our next podcast. So stay tuned. Remember, this is not a instant anything. Hang out and wait for this next podcast. We'll go through how to find those right people. But bottom line, remember, an artist carefully hones their craft until their art is irresistible. So take your time. Excellence occurs slowly but seems instant to others, and an acting career is no different. So thanks for watching the podcast or listening to the podcast. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on actingcareerinfo.com. Thanks.